remember, obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. God bless. Touch them.
Victor Laughlin, the referee for Donovan against Ramirez. We just saw Laughlin last week with the Kell Brook Amir Khan fight. Kell Brook, by the way, is ringside tonight to see Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. The main event coming up for the undisputed junior welterweight title. Tim, Robeisy Ramirez often gives up height in his matchups. Tonight it's about 3.5 inches. He's 5'5" fighting as a featherweight. When we spoke to him yesterday and we asked him about the constant improvement, what he's working on, he said it's simply being stronger, that the skill's always been there, but that strength and conditioning and being physically stronger is what he feels like he has been improving on in recent months.
Well, that's great. You know, his body don't show that he's improved in that area, but, you know, everybody's just different. So, but at the end of the day, I think Robeisy Ramirez, what he needs to do is he needs to do just like what Dre said. Focus on who he is, be who he is, and, you know, don't worry about the knockouts. The knockouts would eventually come. He told us during the fighter meeting that he wants to produce more knockouts because he saw in his last few fights that he had the opportunity to do so, and he let off the gas. So he says, I don't want to afford to do that this time around. You know, if I can get this guy up out of there, that's what I'm going to do.
I think that's the key with Ramirez is he's got the ability and the pedigree to completely dominate a fighter. Take away their greatest strength.
Knockdown scored halfway into round one.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Massive step up in recent opponents and level of competition. Robeisy's only the 4th opponent with a winning record that Donovan has faced. His last 2 opponents, guys, came in with a combined record of 14, 58, and 3.
Yeah, but he was knocked out 3 fights ago.
See, these are the moments I'm looking for from Ramirez to see what punches he's throwing, punch selection. If he can step it up, does he step it up? These are the moments you want to look for improvement from Ramirez.
Just look for the straight left hand coming from Ramirez. He likes to sit down on it. He uses jab typically as a rangefinder, but the backhand is really what he's looking for.
The body work of Ramirez, if he can improve there, you just see him throw a straight left right there. That's also going to improve his chances to get knockouts and stop fighters as opposed to winning decisions.
Try to fire off that left uppercut. You could hear that straight left hand to the body make impact moments ago. So a very patient approach after scoring the knockdown halfway into round number 1 for the 2-time Olympic gold medalist, the 28-year-old Robeisy Ramirez. End of 1 from Scotland. For tonight only, boxing fans can play in a free top-ranked boxing pool on DraftKings for a shot at $5 grand in prizes. All you have to do is answer a series of questions on tonight's undisputed title fight between Taylor and Catterall. Get enough of them correct, and you'll take your share of $5 grand. Download the DraftKings Fantasy app. Sign up with the promo code ROPES. Promo code ROPES to take part in that.
Jab, push him back, get out of there. To the side, double jab, try that shot and get out of there. Don't just let him walk it out. Show him that you have something to it, okay? Okay? When he's showing that body shot, send him the shot over the top. You know that. Took him nice and tight, get that double jab going. Just move off, okay?
Flash knockdown with Donovan off balance in that first round. We'll log a 10-8 round for Ramirez to get his night started. Round number 2. Donovan, by the way, guys, don't look now, but he is a TV boxing analyst in Ireland. So when they're putting forth their Olympic coverage or their pro coverage, he's the guy doing what you do for a living. He had a bit of a disruption to his career. His Olympic plans were thrown off course. I was greatly disappointed. Cleaned up much of his life, as we told you. But interestingly enough, he's been on the other side of calling a Robeisy Ramirez fight.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, he's seen it up close and personal, and now he's more up close and personal here tonight. And I think he's realizing that Ramirez is everything that he saw and that he's heard about him. Sometimes you don't understand how good a fighter is until you get in there and you realize it's not as easy to hit that fighter as you thought. Maybe they hit a little bit harder than you realize, and they're a lot faster and quicker and better than you. That's what Donovan is realizing right now.
You know, the problem that I see sometimes being an analyst and being a fighter, you can sometimes be you can overanalyze things inside the ring instead of letting your hands go when you're supposed to. You know, Donovan right now is just giving up too much ground. He's allowing Ramirez to press forward and pretty much dictate everything.
Well, when both of you come out of retirement for all these big money fights that the Twitterverse likes to talk about for each of you, you can let us know about that.
No comment.
Well, you don't need many comments after the week on Twitter you've been involved in. Round two here, Ramirez and Donovan.
See some blood right there on the right eye of Donovan.
Trying to fire off that uppercut again, trying to time it with Donovan as he leans forward.
Very discouraging from Donovan when he does get off with his offense like you just saw right there, but he can't penetrate the guard of Ramirez. So he gets none in return, and then Ramirez picks, pokes, hits him with a clean shot, and now you're right, Tim, you do see some blood on the side of the eye of Donovan. To keep in mind also, this is only the 10th fight of Robeisy Ramirez. I know he's got the 2 gold medals, 400 amateur fights, and there's high hopes for him, but let's keep in mind he's still learning on the job.
Tim Bradley takes us inside the lab to get us set for our undisputed championship fight to come.
Josh Taylor used the art of feinting, understanding it's a necessary skill in boxing. However, it's an indirect attack, which is meant to distract, offset, deceive, and entice an opponent to react and even freeze them momentarily at times, giving them a distinct offensive advantage. The same feint helped Taylor set up this beautiful pull counter. Taylor appears to be in range, causing Ramirez to commit with the right hand. Taylor then pulls the top half of his body back and slightly to his left as he deploys a textbook straight left hand counter, which not only created the knockdown, but completely changed the tide in this fight.
It'll be a wild scene when Josh Taylor now returns to this crowd at the Hydro Arena in Glasgow. He comes back as the undisputed junior welterweight world champion. Last time he fought in this arena was May 18th of 2019 when he won a belt against Ivan Baranchek. Round number 3, you see the total punches landed through 2, a 26-15 connect advantage for the 2-time Olympic gold medalist, who scored a flash knockdown in the first round.
So, Tess, this is a perfect case study right here for Ramirez. I'm not advocating for him going for one-punch knockouts. That's not who he is. He'll never be that guy. But when you see that you've outclassed Donovan, and he knows he's outclassed Donovan, a guy with that much amateur experience, you know, in the first round. Now's the time to step up the ring generalship, show some urgency, show some flash, let your hands go, and begin to wow the people with your gifts, which are skill, IQ, and ability.
And Dre, it's easy to see how much he feels like he has that comfort and that ability to potentially do that. Oh, there's a good shot. Oh. Left hand comes in and it's over. Dre, you mentioned going to the body would be the jackpot. He just hit it.
Yes, he did. Close the show. Beautiful stoppage, and he's got that ability. In the majority of his fights, he wows you, frustrates you, discourages you, and then he sets himself up for the knockout. Doesn't always take it, but he took it tonight.
Timmy, exactly the conversation you had with Robeisy Ramirez yesterday about growing into it, about acting like a pro. You interrupted him. You say, hold on a second. I hear you saying knockout. He delivered tonight, Timmy.
Yes, he did deliver the knockout. And I like the patience and the poise of Ramirez. You know, he took his time. I know Dre wanted him to, you know, get back, you know, get on it quickly. He had a guy in there that didn't belong in the ring with him. You know, you can see that he was physically stronger than him. You know, tactically he was a lot better. Technically he was a lot better. But at the right time, he was able to piece something together, digging downstairs, setting it up downstairs to open up the top and finishing the night.
9th win in the career of Robeisy Ramirez, 5th knockout. And that early stumble, that pro debut stumble, he has gone out and he has fixed it.
Just beautiful setup right there. First is the uppercut. Nice left hand right around on the ear. You see it was actually probably on the ear near the temple area. You see the legs right there go out, the equilibrium of Donovan.
Well, and I apologize, that second left hand was pulled up. It was the ear shot, the equilibrium shot, and then he didn't even need that final left hand that he pulled on.
And that was a beautiful shot right there from Ramirez, and he didn't throw it hard, but he landed it in the right spot, and he loaded up just enough, but he did it at the right time, and that's that professionalism that Tim's talking about, knowing when to load up and when to box, and it's coming. This is only the 10th fight for Ramirez, so he's going to get better fight in and fight out.
So just that single left hand to the ear was enough to do it, as Robeisy Ramirez just completely outclassing Eric Donovan. 3rd round TKO. The last man to defeat Shakur Stevenson all the way back in the 2016 Olympics. Rio Games, the 2nd of his gold medals in his amateur